Hey! Is the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Yeah.
BBN Jack Fruits. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. Let me get rid of some of these windows I got open. We have a lot to actually talk about. As y'all already know, I don't really go live anymore unless we got a lot to talk about. So we got a lot to talk about today. First thing I want to say is, obviously, we're still talking about politics. Let me just fix this camera up some. Obviously, we're still talking about, I got a new camera. I broke accidentally my last camera. So we got a new camera. If it looks a little bit different, I'm actually fucking with this camera. I like the way it looks. It got like the little, I'm not gonna say fisheye lens thing going on, but it's got a curved camera, so it allows for the visuals to look a little bit different, and it looks like it's a lot sharper. So I love the old camera that we had. Don't get this confused, but this new camera is slapping, not for nothing. We are a little bit more, just a couple of things I want to say about BBN business. We are a little bit more than a month away from us bringing back gaming. We're about a little bit more than a month away from us bringing back gaming. We will be bringing back gaming. We're a little bit more than a month away. So let's get to the topic for today. I hope everybody's having a blessed day. We will be talking about politics. And I want to be clear about this. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. You read the title correctly. Kamala says that she's going to fix all of the problems that her and the Biden campaign has created. I just want to be clear about this. Kamala says she's going to fix all of the problems that her and the Biden campaign, Biden-Harris campaign, has created. We're going to talk about a couple of those things today because I think it's very important that we have certain conversations. So I was walking through the street the other day. I'll tell you about what happened. So a lot of these things that I tell you that's going to happen, it's going to sound like absolute fairy tale land, because when I tell you the wildest things happen to me that don't make any sense, you really just have to be there. That's the only way for you to be able to ascertain. Like, you have to be there. So I'm walking home yesterday. It was a couple of days ago. I got some coffee from the store. I'm walking back. I was thinking about doing the live. We ended up not doing the live. So I'm walking back to the crib. And while I'm walking back to the crib, I see a dude across the street, and he's talking to some old guy. And that's the path I walk. So initially, when I saw them talking to one another, I immediately got suspicious, because I get suspicious at everyone and everything. I'm just living in a hellscape, for lack of a better term, where whenever I go outside, and this is going to sound absolutely crazy, but whenever I go outside, I have people that are actively just following me around doing weirdo shit. It's just, that's a fact. So I'm walking past the guy, and the guy says, "Can I ask you a question?" Because of this man, I will never take questions in the street again from people I don't know. So for future reference, because of this guy, if I ever see anybody in the street and they ask me, they say they want to ask me a question, the answer is universally always going to be no. I just want to be clear on this. I'm never answering any questions to anybody outside for any reason at all if I do not know you. So I'm walking past the dude, and he says, "Could I ask you a question?" And I'm trying to be as polite and kind as possible. So I turn around and say, "Sure." He asks me, "What do I think about Kamala Harris?" Obviously, he just wants to argue. Everybody around here that follows my page know that I don't jack her. I don't F with Kamala Harris. So he asks me what I have, what is my feelings on Kamala Harris. You know, I basically let it be known I don't like her, and he immediately starts going to Trump, starts talking trash about Trump. So I have to keep reiterating, no, we're talking about Kamala. We're not talking about Trump. Just tell me one thing that she's done for our people. Tell me one thing she's done for any people, like at all, that's good for society. She's done a couple of things, but that's good for Americans. I asked him to tell me one. He couldn't tell me anything. So I just turned around and walk away. I will never speak to that guy ever again, a day in my life, and for any reason, just so we can be clear. So today, I want to express this, and I want to say this, and I want to just make this evident. I think that there are a lot of good people who are going to vote Democrat for whatever their reasons are. I don't want to go over their reasons. But I want to say unequivocally that the Democratic Party isn't even hiding the fact that they're communist. They're not hiding the fact that they're communist. They're up front. And if there's anything that they're honest about, it's that. All of their policies would be leading America towards communism. See, the problem is people don't understand just normal political terms like democracy. Like they don't even understand what a democracy is. Just real quick, to break it down to you why we are not currently living in a democracy. We're not living in a democracy under this regime that we're under, that y'all want to protect so badly, Democrats. This is not a democracy. I'm going to give you proof that this is not a democracy. The media is controlled. I don't care if the media is controlled by the people you like or by the people that you don't like. The media is controlled. It's being controlled by the Democrats, by the way. So for everybody that don't know, did y'all hear about what just happened on Capitol Hill? When the owner or president, I'm not sure what we're calling him currently, of Meta went to Capitol Hill and said that they were contacted by the Biden-Harris administration, by the Democrats, basically. I don't want to say Biden-Harris administration. I don't know how fair that is. They were contacted by the Democrats, and they were told that they had to basically push narratives about the jab. That was not true. They were contacted by the Democrats, and the Democrats wanted them to control information on their platform so people don't opt out of getting the jab. That's not a democracy. What's our First Amendment? I don't think people understand why the First Amendment is so important, but what's our First Amendment? It's freedom of speech. But it's not the freedom for the regular human being to just, the regular American to just walk around and say whatever they want. They tricked you. It's the freedom of the regular individual and the press to criticize the government. I'm going to say this again because I don't think people get it. So our freedom of speech isn't for the regular American to be able to just say whatever they want. I want to insult you. Freedom of speech. I want to lie on you. Freedom of speech. I want to make up things that ain't true. Freedom of speech. That's not what freedom of speech is for. Freedom of speech is there for the specific purpose of making sure that there's checks and balances and that the American people know what's going on in our controlling parties. So the parties that's doing all of the things, creating our laws, writing our bills up, foreign policy, all of these things. Us as the American people need to know what they're doing in order for us to be able to vote appropriately. So what freedom of speech says is that the government cannot take away our ability to express our disdain for them. When we are unhappy with the government, we have to have a voice when the government chooses to stop being our voice. For many years, Black people believe the Democrats are our voice. They were never our voice. Go look up what party passed the 13th Amendment, the 14th Amendment, and the 15th Amendment. You know what? We got it right here. Why don't we do it? And we're going to go check out what those amendments are real quick. And then we're going to get back to why Kamala Harris. And let's be honest with you, I don't get why individuals believe that they don't have no choice but to vote for her because they are Black. When was the 13th Amendment passed? January 31st, 1865. Let's just read the whole thing, right? Let's just do the reading. Let me make sure this is large enough for y'all guys to be able to see. Because I'm making a point. The 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution, which abolished slavery, was passed by Congress January 31st, 1865. The amendment was ratified by the required number of states December 6, 1865, and became effective immediately. The process of passing the 13th Amendment began in 1864 when the Senate Judiciary Committee merged various proposals into a single amendment. The Senate passed the amendment April 8th, 1864, and then the House of Representatives passed it January 31st, 1865. President Abraham Lincoln signed the amendment as a symbolic gesture of approval and then sent it to the states for ratification. The amendment stated that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude can exist within the United States except as punishment for a crime. It also gives Congress the power, I hit the wrong tab. It also gives Congress the power to enforce the amendment through legislation. The 13th Amendment was the first time the U.S. Constitution explicitly mentioned slavery. So hold on. You see this? 13th Amendment abolishes slavery, right? I just need to show y'all this because these guys are just... So the 13th Amendment of the United States, which abolished slavery and forced labor in 1865, was passed by a coalition of Republicans, Democrats, and Unionists. Guess what? You know when you read the ingredients on a package, you know what ingredient comes first? The ingredient which there is the most of. So Republicans, on April 8th, 1865, the Senate passed the amendment by a vote of 38-6 with 30 Republicans, 4 border state Democrats, and 4 Union Democrats in support. So this was overwhelmingly a Republican thing, just so we could be clear. Overwhelmingly 30 Republicans. And the collection of 8 Democrats. So overwhelmingly, this was a Republican thing. I just want to be clear on this because they love to tell you Republicans are racist. So hold on. Let's see what the 14th Amendment is real quick. The Republican Party passed the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution in 1866. The Senate passed the amendment by a 2/3 majority with a vote of 31 to 11. The House approved the Senate's version of the amendment by a vote of 120 to 32, with all Republicans voting in favor. So you mean to tell me black people are not slaves right now, and it's all due to Republicans, basically? The 14th Amendment was one of the 3 reconstructive amendments passed after the Civil War. So when the Civil War happens, and the Republicans are the ones freeing the slaves, and the Republicans are the ones giving slaves the right to, the next one is the, I think, 15th Amendment, which gave us the right to vote. Give slaves the right to vote, right? The 15th Amendment gives slaves the right to vote, or once slaves, now freemen, the right to vote. So you're trying to tell me the party that wanted to keep us in slavery gave us all of these rights and also freed us from slavery, and the party that wants to free us from slavery was actually the ones that was against all of these policies, which freed slaves and gave them rights. But y'all still believe that you have to vote for Democrat. So hold on, this is going somewhere. The framers of the amendment wanted to protect the Civil Rights Act from being declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court and to prevent Congress from changing it with a majority vote. The amendment defines and grants broad rights of national citizens, including equal protection of the rights of life, liberty, and property. Let's just go look at the 15th Amendment real quick. What party passed the 15th Amendment? The Republican Party passed the 15th Amendment of the United States Constitution in 1870. The House of Representatives, 144 Republicans voted in favor. 39 voted against, and 7 abstained, while no Democrats voted in favor. No Democrats. 0 Democrats. What is the 15th Amendment? The 15th Amendment of the United States Constitution, ratified on February 3rd, 1870, prohibited the United States government and states from denying male citizens the right to vote based on their race, color, or previous condition of servitude. So I say all of that to say this. When that dude stopped me and asked me why I have a problem, or what is my opinion on Kamala Harris, I don't even know how to say a name. I'm going to explain that in a second too. Right? He was looking for an argument. I ended up just walking away. I don't want to argue with you. I'm never going to talk to you again. That's how much I don't want to argue with you. Whenever I see you, I'm going to look the other way and avoid you. That's how much I don't want to argue. So, just so we could be clear, the Democrats are doing what the Democrats have always done. They have the same exact motivations that they had before. They want to be a part of the ruling party, and they need to keep everybody else in servitude. That's always been their plan. There is no other plan. How did they got us in servitude now? Welfare. Yeah, everybody talks about how people start going to prison, and no, that's just their life now. But nobody talks about how people get on welfare enough. Nobody talks enough, pardon me. How people get on welfare and never get off. They get on welfare, then their children get on welfare, then their children get on welfare, then their children get on welfare. I'm not gonna lie to you. Y'all make fun of niggas that's doing bad, but y'all don't make fun of niggas that been on welfare for 10 years? Explain that shit to me. Now, I'm not saying anyone needs to be made fun of, just so we can be clear. But a mofo been on welfare for 10 years? And I'm talking about individuals who, they don't have nothing physically wrong with them. They don't have anything mentally wrong with them. I guess they kind of do, but they don't. So y'all go laugh at a dude that's doing hard. Y'all go laugh at a woman that's doing hard. But y'all clap and applaud the motherfucker that been on welfare for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 3 generations? What do you think the Democrats want you to do? As long as they have, what do I tell y'all all the time about my biggest beef with the Democrats? And that is that they set up these funds in our neighborhoods, like clinics and whatnot. And then they fund the clinics with government money, and then they steal the money. That's why when they put these clinics in our neighborhood, the neighborhood goes down. Because all of the funds that was supposed to come with that clinic, that's supposed to help the neighborhood and help them do their job, never make it. It never makes it. Y'all want people into control of y'all money resources that got ulterior motives. They have zero motives for doing anything for the people. Kamala Harris is right now this is why she's not going to talk to anybody, by the way. The only questions that you can ask her that are real questions will all lead to, well, why aren't you doing any of that now? Okay, so how are you going to fix the economy? Which only got bad after you and Biden went into office. How are you going to fix inflation? Which only got bad after you and Biden went into office. How are you going to fix the border? Which only got bad after you and Biden got into office. How's she supposed to answer any of those questions? They brought, and this is one of the most despicable things I've ever seen a politician do, that was just upfront and people just accepted it. They brought a bus to the DNC convention to give abortions and hysterectomies. So they just hate God. They just hate God. They just hate him. They hate God so much that they want to kill as many babies and as many men that are productive in creating babies as possible. They just hate God. How could y'all people vote for them? There's a lot of things that can be wrong with you. And I can just say, well, sometimes it's just how the cookie crumbles. Hating God isn't one of them. Hating God is just that's a full stop. So now, just so y'all could be clear on why this is the way that they're running their campaign, because there's actually nothing negative that they can say about Trump that's true. I seen a tape of where Trump was telling somebody to grab him by he was talking to somebody he was talking to, like in the a private conversation, and he was just like, yeah, the pretty women, you could just kiss them, they love it when you famous. And I want to know why that was a bad thing for him to say, stating the fact. Women go for men with power and money, just stating the fact. But for some strange reason, we're supposed to be mad at Trump for saying this. Just stating the fact. You're one of the richest people on the planet. I'm pretty sure you could walk up to almost anyone and kiss them. One of the richest men on the planet. I'm pretty sure at least 70% of the women right now alive would have sex with you. Way higher number than 70%, but I'm just saying 70%. But we're supposed to look at Trump some way because in a private conversation, he says something that men just say. In a private conversation, Trump just said something that men just say. So we're supposed to be pissed off at it. I notice you cannot see my mic because my shirt is black, but I do have a mic. There's a mic over here. Let me see something. There's a mic over here. It's here. So Kamala Harris literally can't even do interviews because every single interview that she does, unless it's just one of these fake interviews, which I'm pretty sure she's gonna do for a couple of fake interviews. I'll talk about that in 2 seconds too. Let me just get right to it before I forget. But unless she does fake interviews, they have to ask her questions about why isn't she doing some of these things right now. I'm going to show y'all something. Show you something real quick. Look, now I just put Nazi joy slogan. That's it. And look at all of these. No evidence, Harris campaign used Nazi era. That's a whole Nazi thing they're saying. They're literally saying Nazi shit to you, fam. No, Kamala Harris isn't using Nazi root and phrase. Fam, they're literally saying Nazi shit to you. No evidence. Nazi phrase. So they all know the phrase she's using is a Nazi slogan. Strength through joy. They know that's a Nazi slogan. Think that was an accident? You think that's an accident? Look. Let's go look at Wikipedia real quick. Think that's an accident. I keep telling you these people are communists. You think it's an accident. German Freud, I don't know how to say that word, obviously. But it stands for strength through joy. It's actually one word, apparently. It was a part of German Labor Front, the National Labor Organization at that time, set up in November 1933 as a tool to promote the advantages of Nazism to the German people and internationally. And it was also used to ease the process of the rearmament of Germany through its structure of organized events and promotion of propaganda. Oh, so the same thing that Democrats are doing right now. because the Democrats aren't actually speaking about any policy at the DNC convention. They're just talking about propaganda. How you're supposed to hate Trump, how you're supposed to love Kamala. That's propaganda. Through its structure of organized events and promotion of propaganda, it was also intended to prevent dissident and anti-state behavior. By 1939, it became the world's largest tourism operation. So just so we can be clear, strength through joy is actually one word in German. No. Okay, it's not one word. This is the whole word? Is this also part of the word? Or is it this? Okay, this is the word. Yeah, it's Kraft Foods. German? Kraft Foods might be German, huh? So that's the word right here, right? Strength through joy. So I've been telling y'all. So I haven't been saying anything wrong. If I'm saying anything that's not true, put it in the chat. So all of the things that I've been telling y'all consistently, I've been right about. Consistently. This is socialism is communist. Socialism turns into communism like 100% of the time, man. We're about to have bread. Y'all vote for Kamala. We're about to have bread lines again. And then what's going to happen is, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen if Kamala gets reelected. I'm going to tell you 100% what's going to happen. So first, everybody that's an active Democrat now, people are going to start hating. Because the only way she's going to get elected, in my belief, is if it's rigged. The people are going to know it's rigged. The people are going to be so mad at the people who vote Democrat. Your lives are going to change. And I'm going to explain why. One of the most important tenets of communism is for everybody to make the same. It's for everybody to arrive at the same place. It's for everybody to end up in the same place. That's why the bread lines existed. Because you can't make everybody middle class, but you can make everybody poor. I think that's the part most Americans don't understand. It's like you have to have a grasp of not just the economy, and you have to have a rudimentary understanding of how business works, just a rudimentary. But you have to have some understanding of how the economy works. So basically, the reason why America progressed, like we're gonna go back for 1 second. So the reason why America progressed so quickly, besides just, we were just on different type, we was on demon time, in the 40s and the 50s, during World War II, we're talking about. The reason why we before World War II, the reason why we progressed and we caught up and passed everybody was because of capitalism. What capitalism does is says that if I create something and that guy creates something, right, we get to compete against one another. And you, the public, get to choose which one you prefer. That's what capitalism does. So that means that I can charge how much ever I want for the thing that I created. And that person could charge whatever they want for the thing that they created. You know what that does? That makes people want to create things. Because the creators become the job creators. You're not just creating a product. You're not just creating an idea. You're creating a job for another individual. That's why creators are so important. So now you take away capitalism. You take away the idea and the concept. that a person could create a thing, keep the rights to that thing, and then make money off of that thing, then why would anyone create anything and share it with the world? There's going to be no advancement. So after World War II, do you know what Japan did? Japan absolutely fell straight into capitalism. Full frontal, all the way into capitalism. Then what did Japan do? They advanced past everybody. Go to Japan. I haven't been there, but I've been seeing like Japan is like they living in freaking 20, they living in 2050. They live in a whole different lifestyle over there in Japan. Who was the first people that I believe was talking about the flying cars? That was Japan, right? They're the ones out there working on the freaking the Jetson, the Jetson cars, right? The flying cars, Japan, right? Every time there's a new invention or a new technology, where's it coming from a lot of the time? Japan, right? So when Kamala Harris says she wants everybody to end up in the same place, that means that she wants to make sure that everybody who is exceptional never gets to reach what they should become. Now, can we just talk about the Bible for 2 seconds? God has us here to do great things. Now, just imagine if the society that we lived in said that no matter how great the thing we did was, we can never, ever benefit from it. Why would people do great things? This is what the people who are voting for Kamala Harris is voting for. They're voting to make sure that we all stay impoverished, whether they realize it or not. And I don't think most of them realize it. I think many people are just voting for her because they just believe that you have to hate Donald Trump. And it don't matter what happens. It don't matter if we all die. You just have to hate Donald Trump. It don't matter if he's right. I'm going to tell you the biggest reason right now why there is no way I would ever vote Democrat, and why I'm telling people don't vote Democrat, and this has to do with your soul. The Bible literally tells us that there's going to be a period in time where Satan is going to have such a clutch over the world that there's going to be a man that's going to come. And when that man comes, everybody is going to consider him to be the savior of the planet. So are you trying to tell me that Donald Trump just might be prophecy? What do the Democrats call themselves? Anything they want, right? They, them. Remember when Jesus took all of them demons out of that man, and that man had a multitude of demons inside of him? Jesus Christ took all of the demons out of that man. What did those demons call themselves? I'm always looking for my phone. What do those demons call themselves? I just picked up my phone and I had people messaging me, and now I'm responding back. Sorry about that. So I want to be clear about this. I don't want there to be, I want there to be zero misunderstanding. The Democrats are communists. We don't want communism because we don't want socialism. Basically, socialism and communism is everybody don't get a trophy. See, they tricked y'all. They using that everybody deserves a trophy mantra to basically install a government where no one gets a trophy. Because that's what's going to happen. People fail to realize we had bread lines in 1920s, 1930s. Bread lines was here in America. People forget. Why did that happen? Overregulation. What does Donald Trump want to do? Deregulate. What do the Democrats want to do? Regulate more. Overregulating prevents job growth. Overregulating prevents the growth of corporations, businesses. And this is what I mean by they need to keep us not very smart in the hood. Because nobody's going to listen to the smart guy in the hood. When you're the smart guy in the hood, they consider you to be weird. They consider all of the worst things about you. Nobody's going to listen to the smart guy in the hood. Nobody's going to listen to the guy that knows what he's talking about or the woman that knows what he's talking about. They're going to go listen to the people that don't know nothing. They're going to go listen to the people that just got negative shit to say. They're not going to listen to nobody that has any. And when I say they, obviously I don't mean every individual. I just mean the general. You know what I'm saying? 70% of the people. They're not gonna fall behind, or they're not gonna follow behind any logic and sensible sensible conversation. We literally have people. We got to get to a different conversation too, because there's something I want to mention. Just remember right now. But we literally have people that you know need help. But people would rather just give them $1. Then say, yo, look, we need to vote better because we need certain things in our community. Over here in Coney Island, we used to have, I forgot his name, but he was a councilman, or he was not the guy that beat up the cars. He was a city council member. I forgot his name. I'm not going to mention him or the dude that, but he was in our neighborhood all the time. All the time. I believe the first time I met him, he was just out here in Seagate. They was having an event. He was out here in Seagate. Another time I met him, he was working with one of the youth teams. I met him like 2 other times. He was working with the youth teams, bringing resources and finances to the youth teams in Coney Island. The new dude that won, I haven't seen him in Coney Island once since he won. Not one time. It's been almost a year. I haven't seen him for 2 years, but it's been almost a year. I haven't seen him in Coney Island not once. The other dude was in Coney Island all the time. And when I say Coney Island, I'm assuming he was also in the other areas of Coney Island, but I'm specifically talking about my area where all the black people live. He was here all the time. They voted him out of office. They voted the politician out of office that was y'all could talk to every day. They voted him out of office. They did not have his back. They went and voted for some dude that they don't even know and never gonna see. That's the problem that we have here in our communities. I think the name Nick. I think his name was like Ari. I think his name was like Ari Avid. No, that's the dude that does Spider-Man. But I think his name was like. I think the dude name was like Ari or something like that. Tall guy. Literally talk politics. I spoke with the Democratic guy, I think twice ever. I don't think he ever once mentioned policy with me or what he was going to do for the community. Because he's not doing anything for our community. He's doing stuff for the other community on the other side of town. But our people help vote him in the office. And when he comes back around again, they're going to come back down here and they're going to tell the old black mofos, you got to vote for him because he's Democrat. And they're going to vote for him. And then he's going to continue to do nothing for us. And they're going to continue to be upset at the way that the police treat them, the lack of resources, the homelessness problem, the drug problem. They're going to continue to be angry about all of those things, but they're going to continue to also elect people that's going to do nothing about it. And that's how I feel about people that vote for Kamala Harris. Y'all voting for somebody that you know isn't going to do anything. You know they're not going to do anything for our people. Besides the fact she said she's not. Out of her own mouth, she said she's not doing anything for black people. Why would she do that? I mean, she did stuff just for Indian people, Asian people, pardon me, didn't she? She passed that law to protect Asian people. She's Asian. She passed the law to protect the LGBTQ community, but she's not going to pass any laws to protect black men. But black men are supposed to vote for her, correct? Like, we don't got no choice. She's black, so we don't got no choice. But she's also not going to do anything for us. We're going to move on to another topic. I just don't get this. I don't get it. And I'm 100% sure that many of the black people who are going to vote for her are good people. I don't think that they're just widows or just crazy or stupid or nothing like that. I think they're under hypnotism. That's what I think. They under mind control. That's what I believe. And not mind control like magic. Just, they've been convinced. You understand? They've been convinced. While at the same time, they've been convinced about all of these negative things going on with whoever, about whatever, where, whatever, whatever the case might be. I also have to say this. Being that so many of these individuals are intelligent. Like, they're intelligent. I think a lot of it is just their own hubris. Like, they can't believe that they're wrong about Donald Trump. Like, they refuse to believe that they're wrong about Donald Trump because they've been talking shit about him for how many years now? When he started trying to run so they've been talking shit about Donald Trump for probably the last 12 years now. Absolute shit about him ever since Obama was running, right? At least the last 12 years, they've been talking mad shit about him, right? So I believe that they can't not talk shit about him now. That's what I believe. Like, they ain't got a choice. Because they're going to feel like they hypocrites when there's nothing wrong with changing your mind. There's nothing wrong with saying, damn, I was wrong. That's actually the mature thing to do. That's actually the emotionally responsible thing to do. Oh shit, I was wrong. You know what? The apology has to be just as loud as the disrespect. I don't think that they could just admit that they're wrong, and they rather just go down with the shit. Because that's how niggas be. Niggas be like, I'm not admitting I was wrong. I'm gonna go down with the shit. We all gonna die. That's how niggas be. We're gonna go to a commercial real quick. We'll be right back.
Listen, there's gonna be days where you feel like shit. There's gonna be days where you feel like giving up. There's gonna be days where you feel like you have no support. Your friends aren't supporting you enough. There's gonna be days where you feel like people are just like giving you the blind eye. And I just want to tell you to keep fucking going, because it's always like that until it gets better.
I'm gonna need some of you niggas to stop playing with me. I am not a game. Go play Tetris or something. Word is born. Call me guns, I'm not gonna never tell it on my brother. Word is born, I'ma keep, and I put that on my mother. Fresh from the streets, and I rep it like no other. Say more to the heat, y'all can go and kiss each other. Niggas think that they crazy, what's a knife to a gun? If I can't get the pops, I'ma go get his son. Oh, I heard he got a daughter, tell that little bitch run. She get blinded by the bullets, cause it's blazing like the sun. You your clique versus me, that's a one-on-one. Sweep them niggas with a stick, and a broom, get it done. Chopper loose, extra boost, I'm the man with the juice. When the boogeyman around, niggas pray to Jesus. You should call him Lucifer, that's a fallen angel. Make a star see stars, that's a star bangle. R.I.P. t-shirts, now you
BBN, Jack Froze, what's up, party people? We are back. All of the way backs. Nicki Minaj husband has a situation. I want to talk about that real quick. And then we're going to get into. Should I bring the clip up for you? I'm thinking maybe I should play the clip real quick. But basically, Nicki Minaj's husband, they released the video of him being interrogated by the police, and I do want to say it's bad. So a couple of things I want to say real quick before we get into this. So what I had heard from a colleague that I had previously had over here, I don't even want to call it a colleague, to be honest with you, but for somebody that I previously, why do black niggas don't like other black people to employ them? Like, that's crazy. I just want to say something real quick, because every person I've ever worked for, I'm pretty proud to say that I work for you. Like, there's no one that I ever worked for and I was like, oh man, I'm so upset I work for that guy. No, you paid me money. I'm so grateful that you gave me the opportunity. Why do black men specifically get so offended when they work for another black man, but they do want to get paid for said work? They just don't want to be called an employee. I need to understand this because it just doesn't make sense to me in any regard. I had somebody who, he was not even a colleague because I was paying him, so he was an employee, just so we could be clear. He don't want to be called an employee. I have no idea why. I'm just happy I stopped paying him. I was paying him for doing nothing. On top of that, I was just paying him. He was just my friend at the point. So, you know, I had money, he did. So I was just paying him so he could keep bread in his pocket, so he could eat and do whatever he needed to do, right? So he told me that that was all a fake ploy, and that basically what happened is that homeboy, Kenneth Petty, was actually in a relationship with the girl that he's accused of taking advantage of. And he saw her. They went back to his house, his bedroom, where the deed was done. And then at some point or another, she contacted the police, and then the police came, and then he had to be held accountable for her accusations. So I say all that to say this. They just released his interrogation video, and it doesn't look good at all. It looks zero good. None of the goods. First of all, there was allegedly a dude that he walked past that was with the girl. He can't remember the guy's name, but he said that they were friends and they played basketball together. Now, with that being said, there are a ton of people that I play basketball with, and I don't know their names. But I also wouldn't call them friends. It's a guy I know. Where you know him from? I know him from playing basketball. What's his name? I don't have the slightest idea. I'm going to tell you what's one of the most difficult things to deal with when you are a person who is extremely likable, and that's remembering everybody's name. With the exception of me living in Coney Island right now, every place I've ever lived, every place I've ever been, every place I've ever worked, every place I've ever went around, I've been extremely loved. Like, we've been on the internet for how many years, and Coney Island is the only place you ever even heard of not liking me. I mean, whatever. What else could I say? This is the only place. We've been on the internet for what, 7, 8 years? We've been on the internet since 2016, right? And this is the only place ever. Ever. There is no other place. You've not heard about anywhere online. You haven't heard about no other place where they don't like me other than Coney Island. That's it. You do what you want with that information. So I say all that to say this. When you are a person that is liked and a lot of people know you, you staying connected to names is hard as heck. But this is the issue I have when he was talking about what he was talking about. He didn't know the girl's last name. Are they chicks that I bang and I don't know their last name? Absolutely. I was dating this one chick for like 3 months. I didn't even know her first name. I'm not even capping. I was dating her for like 3 months, and we were seeing each other almost every day. Light-skinned girl, too. Pretty as hell. Pretty as hell. Like, super pretty. When I was living in Concourse Village, I had just came back up from Georgia, and I had met her, and I met her the way that I meet most girls. They come up to me and they introduce themselves. I don't know. I was popular. I don't know no other way to explain this to you. I've been extremely popular most of my life. And apparently her and her friend, I don't even want to get into that because it's going to sully their names. But so he didn't even know her last name. He didn't know who the girl was. A lot of his interrogation, I understand why he got convicted. That's the best way that I could put it. That interrogation video was terrible. I don't care how innocent you are, don't talk to the police. I don't know if he was innocent. I'm not, at this point, I don't know how innocent he could have been because it sounded terrible. It sounded like he was all of the guilties. So that's been released. And I want to say something. I think people like Nicki Minaj, I think that was released because she's not co-signing Kamala. I think a lot of, I'll stick with this particular situation. I think she's not co-signing Kamala. So they outing her husband. That's what I think is happening. I don't think Meg Thee Stallion had a choice. I mean, I think that's something Meg Thee Stallion would have did anyway, but I don't think she had a choice. I think she had to go to that convention and do that rally. I don't think she had a choice. I don't think Ricky Smiley has a choice. I don't think Plies has a choice. I don't think that none of these black men that's coming out for Kamala Harris has a choice. I believe that there's somewhere a video or some kind of something somewhere, and they're like, yo, we could turn the full weight of the United States Department of Justice against you, just like we did to Trump. And these dudes that be in the back doing whatever they doing that they probably shouldn't be doing, it's just like, fuck it. Fam, Ricky Smiley is in a dress almost every time he's in a movie. I don't respect that nigga at all. I don't care how much money he got. I don't care what he doing. I don't care how much money he got. I don't care about none of that. I don't respect that dude at all. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show y'all something real quick. Something the Bible says. I'm going to show y'all something real quick. Deuteronomy. Verse 22, 22:5, right, states, the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto man, neither shall man put on a woman's garments. For all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God. The original text reads, there shall not be an article upon a man, an article of a man upon a woman, and that shall not put on a wrapper of a woman. I just want to look up abomination real quick because I don't think people understand what's really going on the planet. A thing that causes disgust or hatred, a feeling of hatred. So when you're a man that wears women's clothing, God is disgusted and has a feeling of hatred for you. And specifically, their abomination of indulgence. So specifically, the Bible says, hold on. An abomination in English is that which is exceptionally loathsome, hateful, sinful, wicked, or vile. So that's how God describes men wearing women's clothing. The term, I don't even know how to say that word. Is those Q's? Shiquat? I don't know. It's translated abomination by almost all translations of the Bible. The similar words are almost exclusive. I don't know how to say those words, so we're not going to try. Are almost exclusively used to refer to unclean animals. You want to know what else an abomination is? So basically, if a man wears women's clothing and or vice versa, they're not considered to be human anymore by God. Now, why are all of these Democrats dressing like women in all of these parties that y'all see? Whenever these videos of these parties come out, why is it always Democrats dressed up like women? You know, the people that make the laws, the people that vote on the bills. When God says that if a man dresses up like a woman, he's considered to be an abomination, and vice versa if a woman dresses up like a man. Now think about what they're trying to do to your kids. They're trying to remove your kids from the eyes of the Lord, from the Lord's favor. Now think about how wicked having an abortion bus and a hysterectomy bus at the DNC convention was. These are the people that y'all vote for. People who are openly worshiping the devil because y'all hate Trump. How in the hell is flying an American flag seen as being racist? I'm going to tell you something that happened to me. So, well, not that happened to me, something that happened. So I was in Binghamton, New York. My brothers used to live in Binghamton, New York for a little while. I had a brother that went up there and played basketball for Broome County. When I was about 13, 12, 13, it was right before, was it right before, right after? Right around the time exactly that they came and, because I used to live alone. So right around the time that they came and I guess decided that they cared about me again, I had went to go visit my brother in Binghamton, right? So all of my brothers moved as far away as they could get from home. I don't know a better way to explain this. So I had one of the brothers that went up and played for Broome County, and he played basketball up there, got in the newspapers and everything. And the rest of them followed him up there. Two of my other brothers followed him up there. So while they were up there, I went to go visit. And I remember us walking. And we're walking. And we're looking at the houses that had flags on the front of them. And my brother tells me, that's how you know that there's a racist person that lives there. So in my head, for years, that's all I thought. When I see an American flag, that means that that's a racist person. So now I'm going back and I'm looking at, before I say that part, so now I'm paying attention to the people who fly flags now. I want a flag for the front of my house. I'm realizing that a large percentage of our media that is being created to make us hate America. Donald Trump said something that was dope, and I hope he does it. He said that if he gets reelected, he's going to ship all of the people that don't like America out of America. So if you don't like America, then you got to go. I think they should start with the people who vote for Kamala. They should go through the social media of the people first who voted for Kamala, find all of the people who are anti-America and ship them to whatever country it is that they prefer to go to. Y'all stand outside all day protesting, not a problem. We're gonna ship you to Palestine. We're gonna ship you to Gaza. And for the ones that are constantly outside protesting for Israel, we'll ship you to Israel. For the people who are constantly outside protesting for, I don't know, whatever, the borders or whatever, we'll ship you to whatever country that you prefer that we're getting these migrants from, these illegals from. We'll ship you to that country. This is going to be one of those examples of people getting things that they thought they wanted that they don't want, like with the whole entire Biden administration. They convinced you to vote for Biden because he was the anti-Trump, but you don't like the state of America while Biden is president. So if Biden is the anti-Trump, why wouldn't you vote for Trump? Like, that literally doesn't make any sense to me. Biden is the anti-Trump. So when Biden gets into office, he does all the things that's the opposite of what Trump would do. Correct? Y'all hate all of those things. So why wouldn't you vote for Trump? Y'all know what cognitive dissonance is, right? Oh shit, I hit the wrong button. Cognitive dissonance is a psychological phenomenon that occurs when someone is conflicting beliefs, attitudes, or actions and experiencing mental discomfort as a result. So, what up, Brandon? So, y'all know what cognitive dissonance is. So, y'all hate everything that's going on with the current administration because it's absolutely terrible. But you also don't want to bring back the anti-current administration. Y'all want to argue about how y'all should keep the current administration in place so it could fix the problems that it created. I'm flabbergasted because I don't understand why you would think that they would want to fix the problems that they created. I need that explanation first. Why do you think they would fix the problems that they created? The problem didn't exist. It wasn't there. It didn't exist. There was no problem. They created the problem. Now I need an explanation on why you think that they would fix the problem that they created. That's literally all the Democrats do, by the way. They create a problem. And then they tell you that it's all the Republicans' fault. And then they pretend like they want to fix it to get elected. And then they get elected and forget that the problem existed. Now they on to some new shit. And they create more problems. I just saw something that was super wild. It said people that was born in 1992 is turning. No, that can't be true. Hold on. These people can't count. These people are just evil. I don't know no other way to say it. So they using a Melania Trump imposter to make fun of J.D. Vance about his sex couch. They got an imposter for Melania Trump. These are the niggas y'all want to vote as a president? They disrespecting the previous first lady. This is, and not the way that Trump goes after Hillary. She's an actual politician. She's game. This first lady, she's not a politician. She's just a wife and a mother. And they just disrespected her that way. And these are the people you're gonna vote for. Why y'all say that Trump is the bad guy? I don't know what to tell you, man. Hold on. Sorry. Doing some things. All right, we got a question. Hey, BBN, have you been hearing this stuff on the tax against free speech and the opinion? It's fairly new. Maybe we should touch on it next time. No. I'm 100% prepared. So I'm assuming you're talking about the situation. I'm gonna, just in case you want to come up here and voice your opinion, I'm gonna put. You don't have to show your face. I know who you are. All you have to do is just make sure, like, show me your face, and then you can turn your camera off, just so we can be clear if you want to come up and talk. You show me your face in the gallery. You're gonna pop it on, and then you're gonna pop it off, and then I'm gonna invite you up if you would like to come up here and talk. So I'm gonna say all this to say that, right? So for everybody that don't know, the dude that owns Meta, I forget what his name is, he was just asked some questions in an interview, and he confirmed that the Democratic Party actually had contacted him on Meta, and had them about their policies basically, and basically had them censoring people who are actually disseminating good information on the jab and on the pandemic, but it just ran contrary to what the Democrats wanted people to know. So they were basically censoring people's voices, which is not part of the democratic process. These are the same people that tell you that Donald Trump is going to destroy our democracy. We live in a constitutional republic, by the way, but they're the same people that's telling you that Donald Trump is going to destroy the democracy. First of all, they went to social media outlets and had them censoring you, which is attacking democracy. Then on top of that, they didn't even allow for you to vote for the Democratic presidential nominee, which would also go against democracy. So I don't think these guys are, I don't think they care as much about a democracy as they tell you they do. It seems to me like they care a lot less about a democracy and they care a lot more about communism. Do you understand that she is also talking about, and I'll bring this up. Do you understand that she's also talking about stopping price gouging. There's no price gouging done on freaking groceries. Do you understand that it's like the average is like 1.8%? That's what they're making. They can't lower the prices because there's so many regulations that they have to raise the prices in order to make a fucking income. So how do we bring grocery prices down? Remove regulations. How do we bring grocery prices down or make them more affordable so the people can buy the groceries? We have to do something about our economy, which means doing something about inflation. The Democrats already said that there's going to be more regulation. The simple act of there being more regulation means that things are going to get more expensive. I don't understand how people don't understand this. I'm fortunate as far as I went to a couple of different schools, and with every major I took, I had to do business and I had to do psychology courses with every single major I took. So I changed my major twice when I was in Bronx Community. And then when I went to the trade school, Catherine Gibbs, then I didn't change it again. So I had 3 different majors while I was in college, just so we can be clear. One of my first major I took is so I could learn how to do business better so I could help my father's company, right? Which actually, obviously, as you can see what I'm doing on the internet, you don't get nowhere where I'm at all if you don't know nothing, just so we can be clear. And I've done reinvented ourselves over here a ton of different times, and been ton of different things. So communications, business management, and web design. Those are my 3 majors that I had taken up in the 3 different times. So when I was in my business course, and this is why I think we should all, especially people of color, whenever your child goes to college, make sure they take business courses. I don't care whatever else they're deciding that they're going to be in life. I don't care if they're in the carpentry. You need to know how to run a carpentry business, right? I don't care if you're going to college to be a writer. You need to know how to still do business. So I say take at least 2 business classes. They're going to be at least like throughout whatever the period of time you're going to be in college. You should at least have 2 semesters of varying different degrees of business, just so when you get out here in the world, you have at least a ground to stand on. And that's what puts me ahead of a lot of these people that might want to like talk crazy about me. Like, y'all still, like, we about to go on 100,000 subs. You got 20,000 at most. Some of y'all got like 10. Some of y'all got like 3. Well, I literally did business. This is not cap. I'm going to tell you just, so I had somebody that I was working with recently. And so I told them, you know, if they was doing a thing, and I said, if you really want to win, you should do it this way. And they were busy telling me, nah, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. So I was like, all right, I don't argue with you. Just do the thing that you're doing. Because I'm busy. I'm not even thinking about the thing that they're doing. I'm totally focused on something else. So I'm like, if they do it, they do it. If they don't do it, they don't do it. Whatever. I got this other thing going on. I don't really have time to spend over there. I'm very happy that they're doing what they was doing, just so we can be clear. I wish it would have worked out better, but it didn't. It is what it is. I don't work with the person no more. No hate at all, just so we can be clear. So if they leave, and then I just do the thing that I told them to do. I achieve 1,000% better results, if not better. 1,000%. The results was just so much better. 1,000. There's a number I'm going off of. So I'm not just saying a thing, just so we can be clear. I got about 1,000% better results. So when I say I'm not just repeating what people who play the stock market is saying. I'm not just repeating what other politicians are saying. I'm not just repeating what people who don't like Kamala Harris is saying. When I'm saying I went to school, they teach this shit. They teach this stuff in the first class, damn near. I mean, I don't mean the first course, like during whatever your first semester of the economics one. They teach this. The fact that so many people don't understand how it works is baffling to me. They teach this. Businesses are corporations are in business to make money. They're not in business to employ people. Nobody says, oh man, I want to have 100 employees. People say, yo, I want to be rich. People don't talk about how many employees they're going to have. People talk about how much money they're going to make or want to make, right? So to say that a corporation is being greedy because you think they should pay you more money without no evidence, proof, or nothing to go behind that is just lying. Their margin for error is 1.8%. They cannot be price gouging at the grocery store. The margin of error is 1.8%. Do you know how difficult it is to make money? When you're producing a product that your margin of error is 1.8%. Do you know how much of that product that you actually have to produce to make money? You have to produce so much of that product to make money that if that number went down any and went to, like, let's say 1.2%, you might have to just do a whole new business. Because you can't stay in business. Kamala Harris is trying to put the farming industry out of business. I don't get how people don't know this. I don't get why it's not obvious. I have no idea. But they're not price gouging at the supermarket. They're not price gouging at the damn supermarket. Are there some companies that's probably cheating? Absolutely. The margin of error is 1.8%, and I don't think people understand how small that is. I don't think people understand how much food they have to actually get to market before they start making an actual income, before they actually start making money. And Kamala Harris wants to put a cap on how much they could charge you. We're about to run out of food because people are going to stop producing food. It's not going to be in their best interest if they want to feed their own family. It's not going to be in their best interest if they want to live any kind of reasonable lifestyle. It's just not going to be in their best interest. So y'all want to elect a Kamala Harris that knows zero, absolutely nothing about business. She knows nothing. She doesn't even know. They don't even know. And I think they know this, just so we can be clear. They either have to know this and they're evil, or they don't know this and they're incompetent. They act like they don't know printing more money makes inflation go up. They were bragging about how much money they were going to print. Everybody forgets about that. They were bragging about how they're just going to print money. They were bragging about that. They were bragging about destroying our inflation, destroying our economy. And they had people out there clapping. Like, yeah, that's what you got to do. They had people clapping. Just something to be mindful of. They had people clapping. Printing money is going to destroy the dollar value. Absolutely. Because one of the first things that we should know, because it's common sense, is the less something is, the more valuable it is. The more difficult something is to acquire, the more valuable it is. When anybody could have something, the less valuable it is. When everybody has something, it becomes less valuable. So when you print a shitload of money, and then not only that, you ship it out all over the world, you are destroying the dollar. So no, these are communists. At this point, I don't even consider them. I'm just being honest with you. I don't really consider Kamala Harris to be an American. I don't consider Joe Biden to be an American. They're globalists. They're not an American. They're not a Russian. They're not a Chinese. They're not a no country. They're globalists. They're just earthlings. I think that whatever country you're living in, you should want the best for that country. If you live in Portugal, you should want the best for Portugal. If you live in Brazil, you should want the best for Brazil. If you live in England, you should want the best for England. If you live in Australia, you should want the best for Australia. And if you're living in America, the United States of America, you should want the best for the United States of America. Shout out to Brandon Washington. This is one of the best comments I've had in a long time. Also, Saloon is open. I'm feeling really good today. If y'all want to do Saloon is open. Brandon Washington, hey guys, we had 93.5K subs. Let's get Jack to 100. Let's get that YouTube plaque. Let's get that YouTube plaque. Let's get to 100. Anything else you want to talk about, Brandon Washington? You commenting today? they be sending me for these jobs for movies and stuff like that, but I'm gonna contact them. I'm gonna see. If they wanna. I don't. Netflix projects. I don't have the jab, and I have no plans on getting the jab. So that's the issue. Just so we can be clear. That's the issue. I don't got the jab. I have no plans on getting the jab. The jab is not a thing for me. Very happy that my face shots and all of the stuff that I send them, they like. But I'm not getting the jab. It's not happening. It's not a consideration. Yeah, it's not a consideration. It's not a consideration. Yeah, I don't never notice. I don't really ever talk about my accolades. Maybe it happens and then I bring it up, but I don't ever be like, yo, yeah, I don't really do that. I like the page better when I was able to encourage other people with my success. But nowadays, if I talk about my success, the haters pull up, not the people that get encouraged. So, you know, I wish I could encourage people to go out there and chase their dreams, but I know any kind of business where I try to encourage people to believe in themselves is just gonna make people hate me. So I don't want to deal with that. But I appreciate you, Brandon Washington. That's a fact. Yeah. I still encourage people, and I run into and I see. I just don't do it online. Especially when I get the opportunity to leave Coney Island for the most part. So when I'm not in Coney Island, like I go hard trying to encourage people. Because I'm around people that's going to be receptive. Not really around that many receptive people. Anything I say, people are going to try to figure out how to turn it into something negative. Let me tell you what happened yesterday. So I'm playing basketball, and I go to box out, and you just got to hear this. And this is not me shooting at the guy either. I'm not trying to disrespect the guy. I just want to tell you what happened. So I'm boxing out, right? Looking this way and I'm boxing out. You can see the mic, right? Let me show you that. So I'm looking this way. I want you to see the mic. So let's say that's the guy back or some shit. I don't know. So I'm looking like this to go box out, and I go like this to go box out, and the back of my hand goes like this because I'm boxing out. Like I'm being low and I'm boxing out and I'm going like this. And the back of my hand went like this. And then the guy wanted to know, was I rubbing my hand across his back? Like, what the fuck? So everything that I do, people just take it the most, what the hell are you talking about? And this is a nice guy. So I'm like, I thought he was a nice guy. Now I'm going to probably avoid talking to him. Yeah, and I'm probably just going to avoid talking to the guy from now on. But yeah, I was just boxing out. Like, that's it. And then, let me tell you another thing. So let's say this is the arm, right? So when you go to box out sometimes, you hook the guy like this so you could get like this so you can get position. Because basically, boxing out, we're fighting. Like, let's say this is the guy's arm. We're fighting. You know what I'm saying? When I'm saying it's a fight. We boxing out. I'm using my arm to position himself. He's using his arm to position me. So I go under, and he has his arm like this, and I go under so I could get leverage and move him like this, because that's boxing out. That's how you play basketball. I went and did that, and he was like, complained about it. Like, and I'm like, but that's legal. Like, 100% legal. I was ready to give him the ball though, because I don't want to argue. So it was 100% legal, like a 100% legal move. I didn't do anything wrong. I was just pretending like I did. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. honestly, I don't know what to tell you. Honestly. What up, Kyra Knows? How you doing? She says, good morning, Frost. Good morning to you, baby girl. Hope everything is doing well. Brandon Washington says, delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. That's a fact. Psalms 37:4. And also Psalms 20:4. May he give you the desires of your heart and make all your dreams and all your plans succeed. I appreciate you, my brother. That's a fact. We're going to leave this one up. Definitely appreciate you. That's a fact. I'm trying to, get to things. Yeah, so that's just bugging. Like, after that happened, I just left the park. Like, not for nothing. I just left. I was like, oh, man, I think this nigga trying to start an argument with me over nothing. I'm just boxing out, fam. I'm just boxing out. I'm not doing nothing else. I'm just boxing out. That's it. That's all I was doing. I don't know what to tell you, fam. I don't know what to tell you. I walk around with my headphones on, so nobody can't talk to me and start an argument. So that's my life. I don't know what to tell you. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. I'm gonna give y'all a minute being here, almost 2 hours. I think I'm about to end the live. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. I'm gonna tell you something that's wild. So there's this one particular people. I must have liked somebody's picture, maybe. I guess. I don't know. I think I liked somebody's picture. So somebody saw that I liked somebody's picture. So they're just making like mad fake accounts of the person trying to contact me like through the DMs or some shit. I don't even consider dating a female that got a man. I just don't. And I just don't. This is not something I would do. I also don't want a woman that is naked on the internet. So all of you people that try to use somebody's pictures in order to try to, I don't know what you're trying to do. It's not going to work at all. Like, I mean, fuck it. Keep wasting your time. Like, who am I to tell you to not waste your time? But it's not something that's ever going to work. But, who am I to tell you to not waste your time? Fuck it. Waste all the time. Hold on. Somebody just asked me, were we going to cover the Shaquem Parker gun trial also? I don't know. I don't know. I was thinking about covering it, but we didn't get much support when we covered the other trial. So I don't know if I'm gonna do it. We ain't getting no support. Constantly wants to, if I had a girlfriend, she'd have so much fucking free clothes. Look, I get these shits all the time. They be from bullshit, but sometimes they not. I be checking them sometimes. I get these all the time. If I had an actual girlfriend, she'd have so much fucking free clothes. So much free clothes. I'm getting a lot of because I paste that stuff. She gets so much free clothes. Sheesh. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. Come on, let's go. If not, I gave y'all 4 more minutes. Nobody had anything y'all wanted to talk about. I think I'm gonna let y'all go. Get into whatever else we're gonna get into for the day. I think I'm gonna let y'all go. So, everybody, because I'm guessing that's it. I guess we're done. Everybody, just have a blessed day. We talked about Kamala saying that she's gonna fix the problems that she created. So most of the stuff we talked about was just the problems that she created that she says she's gonna fix. Which, if she was actually gonna fix, they can fix now. Because whether you realize it or not, Joe Biden ain't doing nothing. Joe Biden's not been doing nothing this whole entire time. And this is the sad part. I'm not saying vote Trump because I believe in Trump. I want to be clear about this. I'm not telling y'all to vote Trump because I believe in Trump. I'm literally telling y'all to vote Trump because voting the alternative is voting for shit God don't like. You're going to hear people say, well, God don't like racism. Stop. I don't know where racism is actually at in the Bible, but I do know that homosexuality is not something that God agrees with. I do know that God doesn't want people touching kids. I know that God doesn't want these things because it says it multiple times in the Bible. Now, while I do believe that if you are gay, you got the right to be gay, and I'm not trying to stop you, nor am I trying to take away any of your rights. I'm not trying to do any of that. I just want to be clear on this. I believe that we have to allow people to be their selves. So if you are a person that you would like to dress up like a woman, go dress up like a woman, fam. Be a man and dress up like a woman. I personally don't care. You wanting me to care is an issue. That's an issue that you got to deal with, not me. I personally don't care. I don't care if you dress up like a woman. I don't care if you're a man and you want to sleep with other men. As long as it's not me, none of that shit matters to me. The issue is this. I would not never vote for anybody that promotes those agendas because I know that God says about it in the Bible. That's not me calling you a thing. That's me acknowledging that the Bible is calling certain people a thing. You can feel however you want about it. Another thing is this. When I see Republicans out in the world and when I see Democrats out in the world, why do the Democrats always look like they're unhinged? They're always yelling. They're always screaming. They never want to listen to anything that the other side has to say. And they're always trying to overtalk people. So, and they're always trying to tell you what you are saying. So remember earlier in the show, if you was here, I told you about some dude that some guy told him to start an argument with me. That's all I know. That's all I know. That's why I don't talk to nobody around here. Like if I go outside, I try not to, if I know you, I'll talk. But if I don't know you, and it's not no disrespect to anybody, I don't want to argue. So that's why I don't talk. I don't want to argue. So the easiest way for me to not argue with people is to just walk past them, keep my headphones on, and don't talk. So I'm walking past the dude. The dude says, just asks me, what's your opinion on Kamala? Because he wanted to argue with me. So me, I really would, I'm really so much more of an accessible person. Like when I'm not in Coney Island, I literally talk to almost everyone. Like I can't even explain this to you. You will have to be there to see it. When I'm not in Coney Island, I talk to everyone. I mean everyone. I go get all of my happy conversations. When I'm not in Coney Island, I'm able to be friendly. I guess that's the best way I could put it. When I'm in Coney Island, as much as I would love to be friendly, I don't have that option. Like it's not an option. Like not at all. It's not an option. I wish it was. I pray to God that it will one day become an option, but it's not an option. So I'm walking past the dude, and the dude says, "What is your opinions on Kamala Harris?" And then I throw it back at him, "What has she done for the American people?" And then he immediately tries to go to Trump, because that's all he wants to do is argue with me. So no, I'm saying, well, you tell me what she's done for the American people. He can't tell me nothing, so he just yelling and yelling and yelling and yelling and yelling. So I turn around and I walk away. Tell him to have a blessed day. That's Kamala people for me. Right there. They don't have anything positive that they can say about the person that they're trying to say is great. So the only thing they can do is talk down on the person who's supposed to be their adversary. There's not a positive thing they can say about Kamala Harris. Not one. Only thing they could talk about is her race, her gender. Those aren't positives and those aren't negatives. Those are just things that happen to be. There's no positive thing that they could say about Kamala. So all they can do is speak negatively about Trump. Another thing I want to say. She doesn't even say her name like an American. You freaking black folk out there trying to claim her, and she doesn't even say her name the way that Americans say Kamala. She doesn't say it like Americans. Y'all laughing at all of those people that are accidentally or purposely, whatever the case is, saying her name wrong when talking to the media, but yeah. She doesn't say her name the way Americans say the name. Pardon me. I don't even know how to say her name. I say Kamala. Why? Because that's how we say it in America. How does she say her name? I don't have the slightest idea. But in America, we say Kamala. Has 3 A's. Fam. Kamala. If you say it any other way, that's not the American pronunciation. You can have a different accent, absolutely, but it's not the American pronunciation. Kamala. Right in your face. And y'all still want to die on that hill that she's black. And it's right in your face. She doesn't even say her name the way an American black person would say her name. It's right in your face. It's something to be mindful of. Motherfucker really trying to argue with me. That shit was crazy, man. So yeah, so I don't talk to nobody. I'm about to probably walk outside right now. I don't talk to nobody. I'm not trying to, because I don't want to argue. I don't want to argue. So if you don't talk to nobody, you can't argue. Nobody can start an argument with you. So, I don't talk to nobody. So nobody can start an argument. With that being said, everybody have a blessed day. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm thinking about doing a live now, but there's no telling what we're going to do later. My knee hurt so bad. I went to go play basketball yesterday. These dudes just don't get it. On the days my knees don't hurt, I play really good defense, lockdown defense. On the days my knees hurt, I'm not chasing every fucking defense. I'm not chasing everybody with the damn ball. It's like my knees hurt some days, man. That's it. That's it. That's all. You're not as good as you think you are, and I'm not as bad as you think I am. Some days my knees hurt. That's it. When I don't go play basketball on the days my knees hurt, niggas think I'm scared to go to the park. No, my knees hurt. If I go to the park and it's one of the days my knees hurt and I got these just douchebag ass niggas that be there, niggas gonna think no, my knees just hurt. That's it. That's it. I'm allowed to have bumps and bruises, right? I'm allowed. With that being said, everybody have a blessed day. Go out there in the world. Do some great shit. I love the new camera. Love the new camera. Go out there in the world. Do some dope shit. And then stamp God's name on it. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got. This one.
Hey! Is the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Yeah.